Yaki mo time na wala na po mo sini. Okay, sige, hanglan, mag-warm up. Mag-warm up. Magkanta. Kanta o mga tag-as. Okay?
Gabot na to ugma diri pagkatakad talaga ta.
Kanta mo, gabot inyong madali sa class. Practice lang mo. Okay? Practice mo and then magpangita mo kanta karon na tag-as.
Ano mag-himnas na kato hold up the light di ba kay taas kay mo mag sila kas.
Ito yung hold up light. Kay the more man ko rin imo ang kaning
Dito ba kasto?
Ha?
Noon bungol-bungol mo kurang panahon.
The more nga mo nga siya warm up, the more nga mo nito tag imong tingog, the more nga mo tibuok, the more nga makabuga ka. So that's why na singing is good. Bahala ang imong mga tingog pwede rin ka maputso sa balay kay mo jud nanganta mo. Boy, magwedo, ya sige kang Alexis. Taas lagi ka. Taas. Ya pa si Alexis dong.
Ayun, nato yung mahilang si Kevin. Si Kevin ay nabiyan.
Lord, you are the potter, and we are the clay. Mold our lives into vessels for your service, we pray. This is a song of prayer. Okay? Nag-ampo siya sa Ginoo sa kanta. Hindi recognize niya ang Ginoo ng mag-uma. Mo'y potter. Okay? Kita ang clay. Nagaya siya sa Ginoo, mold our lives into vessels for your service, we pray. And when we go through the fire, may you find us strong and true, as by faith we follow onward, placing our trust in you. Can you imagine how much faith? Kung ka importante sa pagtuo ng mini-play o pagtuo ng role sa ating kinabuhi. Sikat pa sa sinugdan sa atong kaluwasan na ang pagtuo sa kaluwasan. Nasa ang continuous na pagtuo diya sa Ginoo everyday, not to be saved, but to really put our trust in Him.
Excuse me.
Okay? Angat siya. Nagsalig ka nagsalig ka mutuman siya sa tanan, matag o sa kapulong na iyang isaan. Okay, iba mo na ang pagtuo. Iba Hebrews chapter 11. Faith is the what? Substance of the things hoped for. Okay? Dili ra pagtuo nga ito ra nagyamo, pero pagtuo nga nagbutang sa ilang pagsalig. Ano na ang pagtuo nga nakita? And mauna siya kanta, Lord, mold our lives. And sometimes when God is molding our lives, sometimes we reklamo tayo. Ano man, kaya kung hindi man sa'yo, muwagi man tao, mga difficult times. But the difficult times will help us to reveal kung saan yung klase ng character na naata, kung saan klase ng character na muakon ba ta? Okay? How are you obeying the Lord? How are you undergoing the authority in your lives? Okay? And when we go through the fire, sometimes dili ka kapil, sometimes ang atong kinabuhi, pinakilata sa kalibutan nga freedom sa atong kultura, na we have all the freedom we want, dili kita kaagi og kalisod.
Right.
Pero sa mga countries diin ang ilang pagtuo, ang ilang pagbarugya sa Ginoo ginahulga na mawala nila sa mga grabe nilang pagtuo. So grabe din ang pagsulay, grabe po ang pagtuo. So you wish to grow your faith. When karon ako makaingon ta nito ko, what if na sa tunga-tunga kalayo sa imong pagtuo. O dili sa kalayo sa imong pagtuo, dili dapat mga punga sa pagsulay. Parang siya kung magiging. Will you still follow? What if mabot ang panahon? Ang atong bigyan na atong punga, atong pagtuo. Kamarot ko lang. There was this clip na I saw on the internet. Ito siya sa China. Yeah. Narito yung mga tao. Nabilang ko kung sa ilang magtuke, nasakpan sila nag-himog underground church. Ang parang ng preacher, pila man kung pinili ka na preso na kung nasakpan mo. Kapit sila ka na nag-isa. And then, nagpa-praise na sa pastor. Naunta, mabot ang panahon, nga na sila yung freedom mag-service. Nadili na sila hilagtan sa gobyerno. Yan ang pastor dili, kung gusto magpayana. Ano, kaysa mo nabi daw may freedom mag-service. Ang mga tao, naman mo at kung ganang simbahan, or naging simbahan, wala air conditioning, hindi na sila mabalik. Kung inyong lingkuran, wala ito, hindi sila mabalik. Tanawa ka mo dili, ginaluto sa inyong pagtuo, mo drive mo. It's 13 hours para lang makaabot sa tugmanan. Maklay sila, ilang ka oras para lang makaabot. How much na kita, no? Dito nakakanag, di ko na makamalan ko ba? Gabi asa? Na kita sa atong kanang kahimtang karon nga grabe ang freedom, wala tayo pag take care, pag hatag ang dakong bili kung saan nato karon. And then yung mga pastor na daw siya paghatag niya ang Bible, kaya siya dala ng Bible. Kita niya ang mga babae, ang usak babae hand over niya ang Bible sa iyang kapan. Then when they read passage in the Bible, katong babae na ihatag sa iyang Biblia sa iyang kapan, nakasturya sa versikulo na gusto niya basahon. Ano to, pag service daw, muta na siya. Minsan mo. How did you memorize the entire chapter? The entire chapter na to sa 1 Peter. One second.
And when you teach in China, you start at 8 in the morning and you don't get done until 5 at night. You teach the whole day. They were sitting there, all 22 of them, and I looked around and I said, now, if we get caught, what will happen to me? They said, oh, you'll get deported in 24 hours and we'll go to prison for 3 years. I said, you're kidding. How many of you have been in prison for your faith? Out of 22, 18 raised their hands. I thought, no way. I looked at him and I said, you 22 people, how many people do you oversee? Because they were all these small group leaders, underground church leaders in the non-province. I said, how many, if you counted all the people under your jurisdiction, how many would it be? And they counted them up, and they said, a little over 20 million. I said, what? See, we forget there's 1.3 billion people in China. This is crazy. Well, I had 15 Bibles and I passed them out. Obviously, 7 didn't get them. And I said, let's turn to 2 Peter chapter 1 and we're going to read it. And just then, one lady handed hers to somebody next to her. And I thought, interesting. Well, we turned there anyway, and as we started reading it, I understood why she gave it away. She had memorized the whole thing. She just recited the whole chapter. When it was done, I went over to her at a break and I said, you recited the whole chapter. She said, oh yes, I've memorized many chapters. I said, where did you memorize the chapters? She said, in prison. Did you have much time in prison? So I said, but don't they confiscate the Bible? And she said, yes. So people bring in scriptures written on pieces of paper and they bring it in. So I said, but then if they find that piece of paper on me, won't they confiscate that? She said, oh yes, that's That's why we memorize it as fast as you can. Because even though they can take the paper away, they can't take what's hidden in your heart. Wow. Well, after 3 days, you fall in love with these people. And when it was done, I said, how can I pray for you? I'm going to go back to America. You guys have been just so wonderful. How can I pray for you? They said, Wayne, you guys can gather like this whenever you want to in America. We can't. Could you pray that one day we'll be just like you? And I looked at him and I said, I will not do that. Big incredulous eyes looked at me and I said, well, why? I said, because you guys rode a train for 13 hours to get here. In my country, if you got to drive more than an hour, people don't come. You sat on the wooden floor for 3 days. In my country, if people have to sit more than 40 minutes, they leave. You sat not only here for 3 days on a hard wooden floor, but you did it without air conditioning. In my country, there's not padded pews and air conditioning. People don't often come back. In my country, you have an average of 2 Bibles per family. We don't read any of them. You hardly have any Bibles, and you memorize them from pieces of paper. I will not pray that we become